to ask a prospective doula. If you want to hire a doula, how do you interview one to find out if they're the best doula for you? At St. John's, they can call the 535-3696 phone number and get their questions answered about a doula. That number will also put them in contact with me eventually, and I can talk to them about a doula. We can discuss various options that the mother would possibly want for her labor. Many women don't even know about the services that a doula can offer, and I have just touched the surface talking about support. Support can involve very many things. It can involve physical support, meaning that I would walk with her in her labor. I would massage her back. I would help her get into positions that would provide her more comfort. Having a doula does not mean that she can't take advantage of other traditional medical types of care for labor. It means that we provide that additional service that often makes those work better, may minimize the need for some really more aggressive interventions that may not really be in her best interests, but we provide an advocacy type of service for the mom and her other people in her support team. We primarily think of the father, but we provide the support for all of these people in the birth experience.
Well, there are a lot of new things too since I've had babies that you see balls and water and tubs and all of that. And without a doula, sometimes you cannot take advantage of those because someone has to be with you at all times.
That's right.
To help you with that. And that is something that, you do part of your labor by yourself. That's one of the reasons why it's nice to have support there, because the doctor definitely just comes in, and examines you as needed, and the nurse is there to service you, but you do need someone there for ice chips and positioning and turning and walking, and you would not want to do all that by yourself and could not. It would not be a smart idea. So
as a nurse, I can tell you, the nurses, it's very difficult for them to be in the room with you throughout your entire labor. They may want to be there, but if they have more than one patient to care for, it's pretty impossible for them to stay with you continuously throughout your labor. So the doula will be there. She will provide for your physical comfort as well as your emotional comfort. And plus, she can tell you what's going on. Doulas have extensive training. It's not just something that you learn by having a baby yourself, although that helps. But most of our doulas have gone through, in fact, all of the doulas that we have at St. John's have gone through a minimum of 3 days of training, plus they have a mentorship, and they have to pass certification standards in order to be called a certified doula.
When we've talked a little bit about techniques to help the birth better. Relaxation, soothing music, and they can bring that. They know that they can bring it. I wouldn't know what to bring for that. Just all the comfort techniques that you try one thing, you try something else, you try something else, and you need a bag of tricks.
Exactly,
during this time.
That's what a doula has.
And then knowing what to do as far as food or drink. These are all things that you pack your bag and you think you know what's going to happen, but until you get through it, you don't. The other thing that dawned on me is that sometimes you have made your choice of how you want the birth to go, but things don't go just like you imagined that they would. And then you're put in a position of making decisions. And in this time of probably as crisis as you're going to get, you're very involved. It's hard to make decisions like that, and it's nice to have someone that you trust to help you through these and to help you think of things so that you can think of it in advance and talk. You actually meet with your doula and talk about it so that, again, you can prepare your body and your mind as much as you possibly can for this.
I meet with my clients a minimum of 2 times before they actually go into labor. I have met with some people almost weekly, it seems, until they actually go into labor. It may not be a formal visit, it may be a phone call, but we keep in touch with each other more and more closely as they approach labor. Just talking about little things. Something may come to mind and she will just call me and say, I just wanted to ask you about this. And that's one of my services, is that I'm always available by phone. They have all my phone numbers. They can contact me at any time, day or night, if I'm on contract with them. And I come to the hospital with them, or I can go to their home and spend early labor with them at home. I help them sort out all of the choices that they have to make. Help them decide which options might be best for them. It's always her choice. I never make decisions for her, and no doula will ever make decisions for
That's just
the mom.
part of your training.
That's part of our training, and we help them decide what's the best course of action for them. We never tell them what to do. We help them make the choice that's best for them.
Now, a doula stays with the mother through the whole labor.
The whole labor.
This could be a half hour. This could be 36 hours.
Exactly.
What about some of the jobs that you've had?
I can tell you that every birth that I've ever attended has been a very memorable experience. Probably the half-hour labor was the quickest. It was a half an hour from the time that mom got to the doorway of her labor room until her baby was born. It was very intense. The husband and I worked together to help that baby be born. It was not just me, and it was not just him. It was all 3 of us together, the mom and the dad and I, getting her through that labor, because it was very intense. It was very quick. It was pretty uncomfortable for her at some points, but because we were able to get her into positions that we had talked about ahead of time, positions that she knew she wanted to try for labor, that we were able to have such a great experience with her. Probably the longest labor that I've ever attended was that 36-hour one, and yes, I was exhausted, and yes, I do have backup, so that if I am getting really exhausted, I can go lay down for a little while and someone else will come in and take over for a little while. So that's another reason that we work closely within a group of doulas, so that we can have backup, we can have assistance when we do get into problems like that. But it was a long experience, but we saved that mom from a cesarean delivery. I am convinced that she would have had a cesarean delivery had she not had the help of a doula. And her birth memories are wonderful. Her birth memories are involved with situations and memories where she was in control of what was going on. She made the choices. She had her sister, she had the father of the baby, she actually had 2 sisters there. At some point her aunt came in. She had a lot of family support, but I was the one that stayed with her throughout